Hello and welcome to this lesson in the Writer's Guide to Freewrite. In this class, we'll learn the benefits of free writing and creating messy first drafts. We'll explore how these methods enhance creativity by reducing perfectionism and encouraging an iterative process mindset. In the world of writing and creativity, the concept of free writing and the messy first draft have gained significant traction. They're taught in MFA programs and in schools for writers of all ages. Embraced by seasoned authors, aspiring writers, and creative thinkers alike, these methods embody an idea that the initial stage of creation should be totally free, messy, unstructured, and devoid of perfection. But what exactly does science and psychology have to say about it? Many experts have written about how the underlying mechanisms that make these methods not only effective, but essential for the creative process. So let's dive into what they have to say on letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism can be a significant barrier to creativity and productivity. When attempting to create perfect content in the first draft, writers tend to feel constricted and limited by their self-imposed expectations. But with free writing, you can express your thoughts without worrying about grammar or quality or worrying about the future of the manuscript or your career. This is a truly ego-free zone. Letting go of perfectionism isn't as easy as it sounds, because what it really means is being vulnerable. Simply being with yourself as you are and accepting your thoughts as they come. Scary, I know. But being able to accept these ephemeral thoughts and let them show up on your screen in the physical world is reliant on your ability to accept imperfection. Psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck has done extensive research on mindset and the effect of a person's mindset on their work and results. Dweck reveals in her book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, that embracing a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset is critical. Well, what does that mean? A fixed mindset is when you view yourself, your qualities, your personality, and your work as unchangeable. On the other hand, a growth mindset is open to change, new experiences, and ultimately the possibility of failure. It means accepting that the writer you are in this moment may not be the same writer you are at the end of this guide. The messy first draft method is the embodiment of the growth mindset for a writer. At its core, it means viewing the creative process as iterative and dynamic. It means viewing your initial words and paragraphs not as a final product, but as a work in process, and that can be refined and improved over time. Everyone wants to make the best story, painting, or anything they can, but it actually takes time and risk and even a little failing to make that idea happen. So let go of perfectionism and embrace the iterative nature of the creative process. We all know writers who have spent an hour or more honing a single sentence when they were meant to be finishing a scene, and maybe that's you. But the first draft method saves time because the goal is shifted from perfection to plain old words on the page, enabling you to find your writing flow and hit your word count goals faster. And flow, or being in the zone, isn't a myth. In 1990, renowned psychologist, and I apologize for butchering this name, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, first introduced the concept of flow, which is a state of intense focus or immersion in an activity. It's a state of deep concentration that feels nearly impossible to find in our modern world of dings, rings, and notifications. But free writing on a distraction-free device helps overcome those obstacles by allowing writers to enter a state of creation where ideas flow freely, without judgment or inhibition, and no matter how random or silly they may seem in the moment. Let's say you've reached your word count goals more quickly and typed "the end" way before you're expecting. Will editing take longer when you're working on a messy first draft? It might, but we think that's worth it. And in fact, we bet you'd be surprised by what your unhindered mind can come up with. After all, according to Mr. C's work, the state of flow is conducive to creativity and innovation. And of course, most importantly, you can't edit a blank page. On boosting creativity, we grow up and live in a structured society with all the rules and regulations and expectations that entails. Therefore, the stories and ideas and words we come up with are often affected by society. Until you let go, often that true essence of a story doesn't reveal itself until the act of free writing. It serves as a discovery process, helping the writer uncover hidden layers of their narrative. It's a journey of exploration and revelation. Ironically, not paying attention to perfectionism and final draft quality as you write does inspire better quality in the end. Maybe your grammar isn't perfect in this first draft, but it's likely your level of creativity will be much higher. And this is because when no thoughts are deemed wrong or stupid, your brain engages in lateral thinking, kind of like an internal brainstorm. You're free to think in the writing world without worrying about getting it right the first time. Dr. Scott Barry Kaufman, a cognitive psychologist and creative researcher, advocates for embracing uncertainty and ambiguity in the creative process. He has spoken about the messy minds of creative people, emphasizing certain traits like curiosity, openness to experiences, divergent thinking, and risk-taking. He also acknowledges that creative minds can be messy and chaotic, characterized by non-linear thinking and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. So divergent thinking, associative processing, and cognitive flexibility have all been recognized by researchers as important processes in the generation of innovative new ideas. And this is part of why the messy first draft method is so effective. When free writing, your own messy mind can function precisely as it was intended. Allow your brain the freedom to explore and experiment without the fear of failure, and you'll discover new ideas and fresh perspectives. Reignite the joy of writing. The benefits of a messy first draft are clear and grounded in science and psychology. By overcoming perfectionism, increasing your productivity, and fostering a freedom to explore and create, this method provides a powerful framework for unleashing your creative potential. And if you're anything like us, you likely haven't written like this before, unrestrained and anxiety-free since you were a kid. Trust us, it's much more fun this way, we promise. So the next time you sit down to write, don't be afraid to embrace the mess. It just might lead to some of your most inspired work yet. Thanks for joining us on this lesson. Write on.